Peter Dench, The British Abroad. Blue Coat Press, I think published about 2015. I've reviewed a few of Peter's books, and I'm a fan of his photography. And I wanted to promote his other stuff and the Blue Coat Press book publishing company as well. Let's have a look through it. British Abroad. To Mum, Dad and Jennifer, Olympus, supported Olympus. It's 2014. Peter's quite synonymous for his work on alcohol, and I think this is an extension of his alcohol studies in the UK. It's taking the British abroad, and being British and being English, knowing and being part of the British abroad scenario at some point in my life. This is quite a nice little insight into foreign travel, into alcohol and tourism, I guess, and sadly the British. But anyway, I'm going to skim through this. I just want to have a quick look through it. Some of you may never had the chance to get the book. I'm just trying to check who the text is from. I presume it's Peter. Let's have a look and see if there's some other text. Is there any more text in it? No. So I'm presuming that this is Peter's text. Okay, so first shot is great. It's such a strong shot. Peter's going to have to have been crawling around the streets at early hours and doing stuff to get some of these shots. It's such an amazing shot. It's one of my favourites. Look at that woman's view, that look on her face. That is classic. How many people can you look out there and think, oh, that looks like my mate? It looks like so many of my mates, that shot, especially that big bloke in the back. This looks like Peter. I'll do the first couple of pictures, and then I'll go into a more random selection. Now, I'm presuming that this was shot on the Olympus OM10. Judging by this format and looking at it, I think it probably is. And with having Olympus name in the back, I'm sure either some of it or most of it or all of it was shot on in Olympus. There is sections of the book with little titles. If I finger, if I find one, then I'll discuss it. But I think I'm not going to give too much away. So a sand shot. Okay, let's pick the first shot. There's some quite naughty and suggestive pictures in this. I'll try to avoid them. If you want to have a look at them, please feel free to go on the Blue Coat Press website and buy the book. I'm going to jump a few pages here, and hopefully I'll pick a nice shot. Do you know, this takes a lot of work. Peter makes it look so easy. This is relentless. I mean, this must have been hard work being around these people, but this is sort of a man on a mission, and getting out there and taking these pictures and coming up with the goods, really. And I'm not sure how many times Peter went out and done this, but I'm sure he was out a few times. And just being given the access and the freedom to be able to do it, and how he's integrated with the people and managed to capture it. But then I guess a lot of people who were there probably pretty drunk anyway, so but I don't know. I mean, I'm just speculating, and I'm talking and waffling a little bit, but enough. Some extra bits in there if you're reading into that. If you see what he's doing there, it's pretty good. I'm just looking for extra bits in the shots, and that you got, just even getting access to these girls. A classic drink. Now I am skimming. I'm already on to page 84, so that'll give you an idea. We've looked at a few shots, and why I like Peter, and I've said this in other little views when I've looked at his work in past videos, is I just like the fact that he gets out and does it, and He's been consistent with the drinks and the alcohol. I think for me, his British stuff is the strongest stuff. I think, obviously, a lot of it's in daylight as well, but I think a lot of it, he's had maybe a longer time to perfect it, and a lot of this stuff's quite grabbed and random. But, you know, he makes a good job of it. He's done a good job of it. And I think the nature of the environment there, it's something, obviously you can't set up much, but there'll be a lot of stuff where he has to grab it and he's faced with sort of dodgy lighting conditions and stuff like that. So I'm on page 95 now. Must have been quite interesting. Must have been quite exhausting being so sober while everybody was so drunk and having to sort of put up with people and watch people and just endure the actual the presence of these people under the influence, and actually don't really care about you. In fact, maybe half the time playing up to the camera as well. So I think this is, what was this, the morning after. Great. It's a sort of, there's great reproduction on this. It's blown up really well. I mean, this is just a crop. It could be 16 by 9, which I think is a format on the Olympus, even though obviously it would come off a little bit. There's obviously cropped. Wow, that's great. My sort of stuff, I like stuff like this. Remnants of the night before. Stretcher. The end of the night, morning time. So, as a really interesting reference guide, this book, I think, as an insight into the Brits abroad, but it's also an insight into a documentary project, working with colour, working on Olympus, looking just at how and observing how another photographer sees, how he sees subject matter and how he executes subject matter and how he gets out and puts the book together. And in past books, some of Peter's strengths have been also his editing, and his editing is very, very meticulous and very interesting. And I think a lot of the time, Peter's editing affects how he shoots stuff. I know that's quite an obvious thing to say with a lot of photographers, but I think in the other books I've looked at where his edited structure has become fundamental and probably is how he shoots and how he thinks of connecting images on pages and stuff like that. He has sort of done it here. I mean, he's done it there. But I think not so much as he has done in previous books. There he is as a young lad. He looks like his dad. So, you know, this is the afterword, yeah. And I haven't shown you that much. I've left a lot out. This is Publishers and Peter Dench would like to thank you, the people involved. What's the back? There's a great shot of the back. A white body and all of that suntan, great. I think you should go and buy this. I think you should get on Blue Coat Press's website and buy it, or get in touch with Peter. I think Peter's a really industrious photographer. He's very industrious. He's out there, he's doing it. And I think for any young photojournalist now coming through and wanting to look at their own culture in a way, but also just look at ways to develop stories. Go out and buy all 3 of these books. You can buy it, all 3 of his alcohol series for under 70 quid, 80 quid, the whole 3 books, Blue Coat Press or Peter Dench. Well done, Peter. Thank you.